Hello everybody, my name is Joey. I'm part of the Chart Guys team. I've been a trader and technical analyst for 7 years, over 20,000 hours. Here to talk some crypto. We've got an ETH ETF start date. That is exciting. We've got bulls seeing continuation on their daily bounce from when we last spoke, but now we've got daily consolidation underway. Going to talk about what's necessary to keep that healthy and where we are looking at bigger picture across the crypto space. So let's go ahead and get on into some charts. Starting zoomed out, looking at Bitcoin, we know if we hold the monthly 12 EMA, then it's a potential monthly bull flag, and consolidation is healthy and all-time highs will remain within a stone's throw. But if that is going to happen, we'll likely need a weekly trend change. That is the most likely scenario unless we see increasing bull volume heading up to resistance. So what that would look like is topping out, coming down, forming a higher low, and then getting a higher high. So knowing that that is what we're watching out for on the weekly, as we zoom into the daily, we got to ask ourselves, what would keep daily consolidation healthy? If daily consolidation is healthy, then no weekly consolidation is shaping up. Didn't have the face cam on. I am back. Here we are. So if daily consolidation is healthy, then no weekly consolidation is shaping up. If daily consolidation is going to be healthy, bulls are going to hold the back test of these bull-crossed EMAs. We can see here, as we've been sashaying around at the highs, once these EMAs cross, they typically give some follow-through. We got them cross bull, they give some follow-through. You want to hold the back test. So that level is right around 61.5K as things stand now, and we will be watching our hourly oversold back burner. This is not a back burner caliber move, so I'm not going to call it a back burner, but we can still glean information based on how bulls respond to those levels. And with the increased odds of a Trump presidency and Bitcoin clearly reacting bullish to that, we got to ask ourselves, is this something that's going to be priced in over the coming months? If that's the case, then if that's the case in the strongest sense, then we would hold our hourly oversold back burner, we'd hold these daily EMAs, and we'll see another leg to the upside. So let's go ahead and mark that off on the chart. We'll pull out our RSI projection tool, and hourly oversolds coming into play here soon. That would be around 62.7K. If we continue this drop down, that would be the strongest look for bulls if they can snap that up and make that into a daily higher low. So as far as our guide for daily consolidation, we'll go back to the 4-hour here. Just going to be the 4-hour downtrend. So next time we bounce, anything below 65.1K going to be a 4-hour lower high, and this downtrend will be our guide. If we were to pull back down below daily 12 EMA, say to basically below 61K, that would be bears starting to create room for a daily lower high, and we would have to watch out for the potential that they confirm a daily downtrend, get that weekly consolidation underway, and then we would be scouting a weekly higher low. So that is the dealio with Bitcoin here, and we'll see how things do. Hourly oversold could be coming into play soon, so we'll be keeping eyes out for it. ETH. So ETH, we were talking last stream about how, we're probably due for something, another carrot dangling in front of us, and we have a July 23rd, so 5 days from now, the ETFs are going to start trading, and I anticipated a little more independent upside on ETH once we got that headline, as people would kind of, migrate in there for the big event. But that's not really what we're seeing here. It's kind of just moving with Bitcoin still. It's got relative strength. We can see ETH BTC is green on the day, and we can see we broke our daily stair step here without much follow through. If we compare that to Bitcoin, not like Bitcoin has followed through a lot at this point, but ETH green on the day, up above the low of yesterday after breaking the low of yesterday. So bulls hope that that is a daily bull flag, and we'll let the 4-hour downtrend be our guide. Ultimately, this is a 4-hour downtrend confirmed without follow through at the moment. And if it's going to be a daily bull flag, got to reconfirm a 4-hour uptrend. So let's check out where hourly oversold would be here as well, just to map some things out. Actually, hold on just a moment. I got something in my... Sorry about that. A little frog in my throat. So let's mark this up on the chart. We've got hourly oversold conditions around 33.13. We'll label that. And it's going to be the same deal as Bitcoin. Bulls want to hold the hourly oversold levels next time we test them. If we go out to the daily now, we can see that's right about these EMAs. And it's going to be the same deal for Ethereum as Bitcoin in terms of the relation to how we respond to hourly oversold and the relation to the EMAs. If we lose these daily EMAs, which are trying to cross bullish, that would be weekly consolidation looking to shape up, and we have room for a weekly higher low, and bulls would need a weekly uptrend confirmed to go ahead and say, all right, the monthly 12 EMA is acting as support, and we're looking back up to the 2024 highs of 4,093. So in the shorter term, got a little hourly lower high resistance at 34.24. Bulls would need to get up and over that for us to truly say, all right, this is a 4-hour downtrend confirmed without follow through. And as everybody knows who's been tuning in, I care more about ETH BTC than ETH, to be honest, because we're in a key location. We're testing monthly 12 EMA, which has been acting as resistance for ages. We haven't had a weekly uptrend in ages, and we're tightening on up here. So I'm liking it on the 3-day, just viewing it as an equilibrium high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high set at 54.53. And now we got bulls trying to show back up here, and they'd like for this to be a higher low down at 52.72. But one thing we'll need to be cautious of here is very often you can have an equilibrium on one time frame, and then when it breaks, it just turns into an equilibrium on a larger time frame. So the setup is there for that to potentially happen here between the 3-day and weekly charts. So what that would look like is if bulls go up and break this 54.53, it'd be an equilibrium bull break, but we can see how looking at the weekly, that could just lead to a weekly lower high and have us continuing to tighten up on the weekly. So we'll have to take it one step at a time. And for right now, we have bulls trying to show up after bears confirmed a daily downtrend without follow through. So the larger time frame implications, bulls, shorter term bulls would like to just see us break bull and move on up, obviously. Larger time frame bulls or more patient bulls wouldn't necessarily hate the bear break of this EQ, because what that would do is it would set a monthly lower high off of the 12 EMA, and then there would be hope that bulls could form a monthly higher low and get a monthly trend change and give us more confidence in a break above the monthly 12 EMA. So you may ask, why would you want to go down and then back up? Ultimately, because if we just go up from here, we'll still need a monthly trend change at some point. So that will kind of always be looming, and it would not be the worst thing just to get it out of the way. So going to be watching that on ETH. What else we got? LTC finally broke its daily stair step after just marching on up. So we'll be looking for a daily higher low here. Got room for a weekly higher low, but not going to put too much weight into LTC as long as LTC BTC is continuing to reject from weekly 12 EMA. What else we got? AIOZ, this falling wedge that we've been watching, we are rejecting from resistance. So we're looking for a monthly higher low. We're testing the monthly 12 EMA, and we have a bullish pattern on the daily. So that is the full recipe for a trade attempt. And it's a little tough to take the aggressive attempts down here when we're still relatively weak compared to everybody. This bounce was weaker than peers, but now we got a decent move up. So traders can be looking for a higher low playing off of 36 cents. Obviously, that's a good bit away here, but you don't necessarily have to have your stop down there. We can zoom in and look and say, all right, we've got a 4-hour downtrend now. We'll let the 4-hour downtrend be the guide, and then maybe we get a inverse head and shoulders or something like that, and you can look to make a play on a right shoulder with a stop right there and say that's either going to be our daily higher low before we break out of this wedge and get our first tangible step towards a monthly higher low, or you stop out and you're wrong. So looking for monthly higher lows can take some time. You're talking about 1 month for each candle. You know, this can take a full quarter to play on out, but can't sleep on it. Got to keep eyes on it. So we're within close proximity to all-time highs. Obviously, it would take a huge move to get back up there, but also it's the crypto space, and 110% on a low volume shitcoin is not a ton. So, and even if you don't get back up to all-time highs, if we talk about this wedge, let's go to the weekly and no, we'll stick with the daily. We'll stick with the daily and just talk about a meager bull break. So you come down, you get your higher low, you get your higher high, you get another round, and say that's all that is. If you get in from a daily higher low here, that's a 60% move up on something that would be decently mundane from a relative view there. So keep an eye on AIOZ. Let's look at BNB. We know BNB had the pretty big red flag of the big old tightening range bull break and then gave it all back. We had compared at the time about the similarities to the Russell 2000 top, or ultimately topped out the whole market in November 2021. But tightening EQ, bull break, gave it all back. That was the end of the show. That's kind of what it ended up being in the crypto space. It wasn't the quote end of the show, but if we look at when we topped up here, June 6th, and then we look at Bitcoin, June 6th, it's been all bears since that. So it ended up giving a decent clue, but now at this point, strong bouncer off of the low. And when we zoom out, still looking for a monthly higher low and a very clean bounce from the monthly 12 EMA. So if we're going to get a monthly higher low off the 12 EMA, we're going to need a weekly uptrend confirmed from here. So BNB is on watch for a weekly higher low. And in terms of this bounce that we've had, most of the crypto space was kind of stair-stepping up. If we look at Bitcoin, stair-stepping up from Friday onwards. Now we've got this consolidation underway. Any coin that doesn't have consolidation underway has relative strength. Any coin that started consolidation yesterday has relative weakness, and you can extrapolate that out forward and backward just to determine, who's in the driver's seat, who's still struggling. And an example of someone kind of struggling, where are you? Link started daily consolidation yesterday, is now much further off of its top. Doesn't mean we're not looking for a daily higher low, but we have relative weakness here compared to peers. If we look at Sol, we haven't started daily consolidation yet. That's relative strength compared to peers. So you always, even if you're not trading all of these coins, it's good to look around, see what the space is doing, and give you more context on where your coin stands within the greater sea of crypto coins. So let's talk about Sol while we're on it. And it's all just about this EQ still. We know we've got ETF hype coming down the pipeline for Sol, and it's the only one of our coins that had the 2-week structure that held support. That doesn't mean that we think we're just going to go right through 188. I would still anticipate a lower high compared to that level unless we see increasing bull volume. And Sol BTC has the same structure here. Same weekly EQ. If Sol BTC sets a lower high compared to 26,939, then we'll see relative weakness come back into Sol USD. And I would anticipate these to kind of continue to trade in tandem as they have been more or less here for a few months at this point. So let's look into Sol a little bit more. If bears want to follow the rest of the space and get daily consolidation underway, they got to confirm a 4-hour downtrend, and that downtrend will be the guide for daily consolidation. So we look for a daily higher low. If bulls hold daily 12 EMA, then the weekly remains strong. If we lose daily 12 EMA, that's when a weekly lower high would be beginning to shape on up. And let's go back to Link just to touch on the bigger picture falling wedge that we're watching here. So we're looking for a quarterly higher low. We have a very clear 2-week falling wedge. We do have relative weakness on this daily consolidation, but that doesn't mean that bulls aren't going to be looking for positions off of the low of this wedge. And, ideally, well, I guess ideally is subjective. For me, ideally, I would like a flush back down and a bear break without follow through, because positioning is a little easier on something like that when you're within a wedge, and then spring it back up and try to break out. That's what I would prefer for ease of entry. From a technical perspective, and where I was originally going with this, is ideally bulls would just form a weekly higher low and then confirm a weekly uptrend. But it's a lot tougher to get a weekly higher low for me personally than it is to make a play off of wedge support. So still keeping eyes on Link, and if you're talking 2-week falling wedge to form a quarterly higher low, this stuff can take some time. We've got to be patient with it. So what else we got? XRP. XRP in the spotlight, but temporary top is in. Temporary top is in. We had a beautiful 4-hour 12 EMA rider for quite some time. Temp top's in, daily consolidation's underway, and the big question here is going to be, do we hit our hourly oversold backburner, and does that mark a daily higher low? Or do bears confirm a 4-hour downtrend? Or this is not one or the other. These are all things that we'll be watching. Does the hourly oversold backburner mark a daily higher low? Do bears confirm a 4-hour downtrend to see deeper daily consolidation? And then our same daily EMA guide that we'll be watching with everybody else. If we hold daily 12 EMA, consolidation is generally healthy. That being said, just because it's generally healthy doesn't necessarily mean it's a bull flag. It depends on how quick you get there in this context. And by this context, I mean how extended are we from the EMA? Because if we come down here today or even just tomorrow and go right to the EMA, then I would anticipate a daily lower high to be the most likely scenario on the next bounce. If bulls can kind of slow down the descent of bears, let this EMA crawl on up, and we end up hitting it here in a few days, then that could be a bull flag. So let's mark out where hourly oversold is going to be. It's not far away at this point. It is not far away. We'll see if it aligns with 12-hour 12 EMA. A lot of times you'll see that relationship in the crypto space. So right now we've got hourly oversold, and let's go up to the 12-hour, and it's right with that 12-hour 12 EMA. So we can just duplicate that line. We'll do 12-hour 12 EMA. So that's an area of interest for aggressive bulls, and it's coming here soon, right around 55 cents, and we'll see what bulls are about. If we lose hourly oversold, or we fall through hourly oversold, lose the 12-hour 12 EMA, we'll be looking to the daily 12 EMA. We'll be looking for a daily higher low, but that will decrease odds that it is a daily bull flag. What else we got? ZEC is rarely talked about because it's historically a turd, but it's had some serious relative strength since July 5th, and that was our flush, the holiday flush, and it's been all bulls since here, just riding up on the 4-hour 12 EMA, maybe getting a little tired with some higher highs starting to lack follow through. I don't know if I'd draw it as a wedge. It doesn't really look like it draws nice as a wedge. We can slop some lines on and see if we got anything. That's a decent uptrend support line. Maybe something like that. It's a pretty ugly wedge, and I'm just going to delete it. The main thing that we want to take note of is that higher highs are lacking follow through, telling us that bulls might be petering on out here. So, and we'd be looking for a daily higher low. Let's see. Yeah, we'd just be looking for a daily higher low. What are our implications on the larger time frames? So we've had monthly 12 EMA resistance for quite some time. Lower low, no follow through. Lower low, no follow through. Another lower low, no follow through. Are we just going to reject here and continue the relative weakness show? Or are bulls going to get up and over for the first time since the beginning of 2022 to try to get what? Probably a yearly bounce underway at this point. No, 6 month. It'll be a 6-month bounce getting underway with confidence. So if you're looking to trade ZEC, you want to keep eyes on ZEC BTC because this ratio, it had a monthly EQ some time ago. Beautiful monthly EQ, bear break, all bears since then. This is our relative strength coming in here, but we can anticipate some resistance at monthly 12 EMA. Bulls would like to keep this monthly bounce going, get up to the 12 EMA, have ZEC USD get over its monthly 12 EMA and keep the show on the road, but we can't overstay our welcome on a turd in downtrends on a lot of time frames. All right, let's check in on ADA for ER Berg. He's not here, but I'm guessing he's curious, and I'm curious because ADA BTC, we'll start with that. That's what I care about most. We have a yearly equilibrium. Low, high, higher low, lower high, and looking for a higher low compared to 396. So we're talking about how looking for a monthly higher low can take a long time to shape up. If you're talking yearly higher low, this can take a long time. But if that forms, ADA will be back on the menu for a good little bit there. So first step's going to be confirming a legitimate weekly uptrend and we'll just start with that. At this point, we've got relative weakness, deeper daily consolidation than bulls would want to see. Bears got room for a lower high, and that's that. This is the ratio chart. Now let's look at the USD pairing. We have relative, you can see that relative weakness in the sense that we got daily consolidation underway originally 2 days ago. Got a little pop to new highs, but no follow through. And it's going to be about daily 12 EMA. That's coming into play here at 41.72. Let's see if we have a 4-hour downtrend. We do. That's the guide for daily consolidation. And if we lose daily 12 EMA, then that's weekly consolidation beginning to shape up. And ADA USD would need a weekly uptrend to try to shape up a quarterly higher low. That would be step one of that shaping up. So that's pretty much all I'm looking at. Let's see. Chat is quiet today. Alan Stevens, what up, Joey? Hope you're having a great day. I'm having a decent day, sir. Hope the same for you. Can you check out the Brett chart? Appreciate all you do. Thanks, man. I appreciate you for your appreciation. I don't know what the Brett chart is. Now I do. Brett USDT. I haven't heard this one yet, and that makes sense. It's a decently new coin. Got 4 monthly candles. Anytime you've got a new listing, well, let me double check that there's not something, if there's not more, a little bit more there. Yeah, I think, we'll check out MEXC. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. We had a little bit earlier trading on that second one we looked at, but we'll go with the Bybit chart. And when you have these new coins, you just got to lean on your smaller time frames because you don't really have macro context to be working off of. So you've got a weekly downtrend confirmed without follow through right into a weekly bounce. That could be a 2-week bull flag. Zooming into the daily though, this is not what bulls want to see. We had a daily uptrend confirmed to get that weekly bounce underway. Only 1 day of follow through and then deep daily consolidation. So that is starting to create room for a daily lower high compared to the bounce highs at this point of 1498.6. And if bears were to either bring increasing bear volume, we could go to new lows, or they would have to confirm a daily downtrend to get a weekly lower high set. With the lack of follow through on these lows, I would draw out a trend line, something like that, to just be prepared if we do go to lower lows to look for an entry off there. And to kind of talk about what we were talking about with Link and why I prefer making entries on a lower low without follow through pattern, it's because you can often get good risk to reward on it, because typically when you're dumping through support, you'll have a stair step of some type. And whether you're taking a 15-minute, hourly, 4-hour stair step, you got a close stop, you're either right and the stair step's going to go, you're going to get risk free and then have your tickets to the show, or you're wrong quick. It's always nice to be wrong quick in trading. And we can probably stick a trend line up here, kind of view this as a channel. View this as a channel for consolidation, and bulls would need to break up to get a 2-week higher low set. And beyond that, bears are in control on the daily, bulls are in control on the weekly bounce, though losing it because of the depth of daily consolidation. And on the monthly, bulls are still in control here, just up at the highs. Let's see, Classic Kent. Unity Software making small consistent moves back up. Don't sleep on them. They're incorporating AI into their software development tools, which is a game changer, unintended. Is that you talking about the stock? I tried, what did I try? I tried a daily stair step on Unity, I think this day. After this epic stair step down, I basically bought the high and then just stopped out the next day and then slept on it after that, because we're in Black Dirt Breakdown. It's an absolute turd. If all of these fundamental things are going to show up in the chart, we're going to get a weekly uptrend as step one, and then we'll be looking for a monthly lower high and need a monthly uptrend as step two. If we're talking like AI, gaming, world changing, whatever, you'll have a monthly uptrend. If a name has legitimate fundamental stuff behind it, you're not going to be in downtrends. And I'm not saying it's not legitimate. It's just clearly, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. But whatever it is, it's not developed enough at this point to show up in the chart. Whereas if you look at something like CCJ, the uranium sector leader, we have not lost a monthly uptrend since the 2020 lows. And, you know, there's a whole green energy thesis behind it and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. All right, we got Karrat for Gravity Train. Karrat. I haven't heard that one yet. Oh man, these coins. It's another baby. Looking at MEXC right now, but let's check out Coinbase. See if it's got more history. It does. All right, so we'll watch it on Coinbase. So this is going to be like a big monthly equilibrium or 2-week equilibrium. We'll look at it on the 2-week for a little more, what would you call it? A little more granular. So high, low, lower high, higher low, double bottom. And now we're looking for a lower high compared to 130. We've got a weekly bounce underway. Anything below 130 would also be a weekly lower high. And the daily is same structure as everybody else. Got a daily uptrend as the guide for this weekly bounce. Daily consolidation underway. Bit deeper than bulls would like to see relative to Bitcoin, just for day one of consolidation. Because if Bitcoin gets down to daily 12 EMA, then Karrat is probably setting up a head and shoulders to get a weekly lower high set. Zooming into the 4-hour, got a 4-hour downtrend as the guide for daily consolidation, nice and clean. Anything below 75.50 going to be a 4-hour lower high next bounce. And that is that for Karrat at this point. Need to regain a 4-hour uptrend to get a daily higher low set. If it happens from here, I don't even know if I'd call it a bull flag at this point. With the upper wick combined with how far we've pulled back, you know, it's just below the golden pocket, it looks like. Yeah, not even just below. It's pulled below a good bit. So I would say bears have room for a daily lower high. If you look at it on the 12-hour, it'll be a little clearer in terms of the space created for that. And that could be the first sign of the weekly lower high shaping up, but the daily trend will need to be compromised in a more concrete sense, meaning losing an uptrend or confirming a downtrend, for us to say that our lower high within this broader equilibrium is set. Let's see, Crypto Fry, my pleasure, dude. What do you think about the AI coins in general, and PAL and FET? I think AI is the future. I think it's going to be a huge thing, and with that, I think it's important to keep eyes on the AI coins. As far as FET, let's look and see what we got. Looking for a monthly higher low, coming off of all-time highs. Can take some time for this to shape on up, and we've got a weekly bear flag confirmed without follow-through. So bulls would have liked a little more bounce up, because we would then have like a 3-day inverse head and shoulders. And not that the bounce has stopped at this point, but if we can get another little leg up, that'd give us more confidence in an inverse head and shoulders to try to shape up a monthly higher low. Because if we top out here, then it could be a falling wedge similar to AIOZ to shape up a monthly higher low. So I definitely think it's worth keeping eyes on. Let's look into the daily to view relative strength and weakness. So nice daily 12 EMA resistance, get up and over with a daily uptrend, nice follow through. And what do bulls want to hold? I guess we'll still use the 12 EMA. I typically don't use them if they're not cross bullish yet in this sense, but from a retracement perspective, that's about where it would be healthy. So we'll just go with 130. If bulls hold 130, well, let's not eyeball it. Let's just get a fib. Yeah, 130.09 or 1.309. That's the 0.5 retrace. It's right around that daily 12 EMA. If bulls hold that, then they'll be hopeful that they can see continuation of the 3-day bounce. But we can't get too jazzed if we confirm a daily bull flag from here, knowing that it wouldn't be shocking to see a 3-day lower high compared to that 185 level up there. 186, excuse me, just eyeballing it. So that's the deal with FET. What else we got? PAL? I have not looked at PAL. Let's diagnose it from the top. Stronger than FET. On the daily, we can see that. Let's start zoomed out. So it's going to be a very similar structure. We're looking for a monthly higher low. We don't have EMAs to be working off of. And instead of confirming that weekly bear flag without follow through, PAL was able to hold support and has now broken that resistance. So let's look at PAL compared to FET, and you can see they're correlated, but FET is weaker. FET is weaker, so you want to play your strong names long. So it doesn't look like it's on a lot of exchanges, though, is it? Yeah, no, it's not on the main. Wait, why are we? Oh, I spelled it wrong. PAAL USD. Yeah, so it's unfortunately not on the major exchanges. Certainly doesn't mean you can't trade it, but more difficult for many people to trade. So looking at the daily here, we're just stair stepping off of the low. We probably got like 8-hour 12 EMA support, 8-hour 12 EMA support. That in conjunction with the daily stair step is what will keep bulls in full control. Be looking for a daily higher low next time we consolidate. And while we did get a weekly uptrend, there's two components to getting a monthly higher low set to have max confidence. One, smaller nested time frame trend change. In this case, it would be the weekly. So we've got that. But what is necessary for a monthly higher low is you got to break the high of the previous month. And at this point, that's still quite far away, 41.50. So I need another 25% plus to be able to say that that monthly higher low is set. No, I hadn't covered them yet. I was on FET hard and am now being patient with it. Just being patient with it. So was looking for bulls to potentially just maintain control from here, but the whole space saw some weakness and FET really took it on the chin. And now we're in like the slow mode for getting this monthly higher low set. Oh man, Money Bum, you're gonna make me blush. I appreciate that. I'm gonna read it out loud. Money Bum said, "Love you, Joey. You're the best. Your analysis is always so solid." I appreciate your appreciation, man. I love coming on here and talking charts and hanging out with everybody. So I like that y'all like it too. Yeah, PAAL definitely still a little guy. Definitely still a little guy. But, if AI takes over the world, those little guys will likely turn into big guys. All right. That's pretty much it. Gonna wrap up. Dan is streaming in the Chart Guys community this afternoon, so I want to make sure I wrap up before that. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Thanks for tuning in, spending some of your afternoon with me. And that's that. Take care. I will see you probably Monday. Farewell, everybody.